This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your host, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
So I learned two things over the weekend. One was while we were in Toledo, one was while I was in Grand Rapids. The first one was Toledo fans lived up to the expectations when it comes to the finals, as expected. And the other was I still suck at golf. So there's that.
You mean you're not supposed to put it in the water?
No, apparently not.
Huh.
It was already rough enough getting back from Toledo at 3:30 in the morning than waking up and going golfing. But yeah, I was terrible. Terrible.
Couple snowmans?
Oh, just more than a couple. More than a couple, buddy.
I can't believe you actually made your tea time at 11 o'clock and golfed that day, because I slept probably 4 different times to recover from the chaos of Toledo because I had a blast.
You know me, Nick. I only wake up for things that are important.
Yeah.
Golf was important. So that's what happened. But anyways, welcome back to the Hockeytown West podcast, your source for everything Grand Rapids Griffins and Toledo Walleye hockey. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Travis.
We're here to give you guys a Kelly Cup Finals update. The Walleye have played 2 games so far. The series is tied at 1 as they head back to Quebec here. Let's talk about it, boys. Let's dive in first to game 1. Obviously, Nick, you and I made the trip down to see good old Travis and the Walleye in action for our first ever finals experience in the ECHL. As I've already hinted to, the fans lived up to my expectations, actually exceeded them a little bit. We'll talk more about that. But before we get into our experience in the game, there's somebody that deserves some flowers when it comes to their performance at the Walleye game. And I'm going to let Travis take the lead on this.
Abby Caracas, man. Unbelievable anthems. Both nights, both games. She was amazing. Did not expect the French version of O Canada. And as soon as she started singing French, I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like, wow. And it was pretty crazy because there's a few people around me that have never heard the French version. And to be honest, like the French version of O Canada, it's chef's kiss good. Like, I'm sorry. I'm 100% an American, love America, but when you hear that song in a hockey arena in French, it just hits different, man.
I had goosebumps. While she was singing both of them, I had goosebumps. I'm like, this game is going to be insane just from the start of that.
Yeah, she absolutely nailed it. I was shocked. I even think a few of the Three Rivers players were a little thrown off guard. I did see one of them, I don't know who it was, in the blue line after the anthem, kind of turned back and nod his head at her, acknowledging, dang, good job. I was like, does this make them a little too comfortable, though? We giving them a little advantage here? I don't know about this, but no, she killed it. She's done the United States national anthem perfect every single time I've been to a game, and she's performed it, as they call her down there, the secret weapon when it comes to the Walleye. And yeah, we wanted to give her flowers where they were deserved there, because well done. Well done. Let's move on to the game, though, and talk about it. This was everything you'd want to expect from playoff hockey, right? It wasn't perfect on either team's end. There was definitely a feeling out period, but the fans were sensational. The chants were going consistently. That building was rocking. 8,600 reported attendance, and I think they only say that to keep the fire marshal happy. There was definitely more than that in that building. And dude, just what an overall experience, getting to experience that with the Walleye fans finally. I've been to a Calder Cup Finals game in Grand Rapids back in 2013. I went to one of those. I didn't get to be there in 2017 at all. So it'd been a while since I'd experienced that environment. But it trumps most playoff hockey environments in hockey at this point. I feel like it's louder than some NHL barns in the playoffs.
That building was packed. There was I said I was going crazy on TikTok and just kind of reporting my own chaos. And at one point I was rewatching the videos, and it was I think I said at one point it feels like there's 9,000 people in here. It was hot. You could not move. It felt like Van Ando, how tight everybody was trying to go in between to get concessions. It was packed. It was loud. My watch went off multiple times of 105 and 90 of just how loud it was. And we were kind of in a different spot than we normally sit over by that Marco's Pizza I can't remember the section we were in, but
112.
112. And so like everybody behind you too is yelling and just absolute crazy chaos from the fan side. Loved it.
Yeah, it made it so much fun for us. So, and thank you to everyone that stopped and talked to us too. Even someone asked to take a picture with us after the game was done, and I was like, "What? This is weird. I'm not used to this." Not that it was weird that they asked. It was just no one's ever asked us. So, thank you for that. We appreciate the love and the following there.
Weren't you signing stuff for them too, Brandon?
I don't sign things. We know this. My autograph is terrible. I've got to refine that at some point in my life. You should see the papers I have to sign for work and stuff. Oh, they're awful. Awful.
Probably better than your golf game.
Oh, thanks, bud. Thank you. Back to the game and not my golf game. Yeah, man, it was a cool environment. So let's talk about the actual gameplay. And with these two teams never playing each other, you'd kind of expect a feeling out period. But Travis, correct me if I'm wrong. It didn't feel like the feeling out period was that long because they were mucking it up with each other pretty darn quick.
Yeah, they definitely, that was part of the Lions' initial plan, I think, was to come in and just kind of cause some chaos and try to maybe draw penalties or something like that. But overall, I thought, there was a feeling out process. I'd say I thought it kind of lasted the whole first period myself. I mean, you guys could maybe disagree, but it just felt like nobody was really settled for most of that first period. But overall, I mean, yeah, you're going to have that when you've never played a team before. But it was just it was exciting, right? There was so much build up, so much excitement, and I thought it lived up to the billing.
Yeah, I would agree. It's interesting when you look at the stats too. It's a 3-1 win, right? And 2 goals were power play goals, and 1 was an empty net goal for the Walleye. So the special teams, as we addressed in our preview of this, were we going to be concerned or not? The power play figured out Three Rivers pretty quick, and the puck movement on the power play was like chef's kiss, beautiful. It was impressive.
Well, the biggest thing Pat said that it was a completely different, the way that they defend a power play was way different than what they had just faced with Kansas City and then Fort Wayne prior. So different, and you've seen the adjustments in the second game, but I think as a whole, like you said, the puck movement was great. Guys were moving around, creating lanes, opening lanes, making plays. I mean, the Craggs goal, that's, he's kind of made that his play, right, from the bumper position, and the first one was just an effort play, really. Picking up loose garbage really in front of the net. I mean, that's just going to the net hard and burying a rebound. But all in all, I was pleased. I mean, you knew you were going to take penalties and you were going to have power plays. I thought they called a pretty good game, to be honest. I thought it was pretty well officiated for being a finals. And as a whole, I mean, there was definitely a huge improvement power play wise, just to see them get some goals.
I felt like that first period they were really kind of just feeling out to each other a little bit, but I felt like Toledo really had the advantage. I feel like the game was more on their end. They were able to kind of capitalize on their chances that they had. And I mean, the power play, like we said, this was going to be one of the big focuses throughout this, besides the home and away, right? Because each team's been really good on the road. So to see them score, I don't know if we've been to Toledo where they haven't scored on the power play. I feel like we're always walking out with free chili coupons.
You might be right on that one, actually, which is another interesting stat of our trips to Toledo. It was just good to see, too, goals coming from both power play units. You had Bliss getting the first goal there, and then Craggs with that second one there. Both units participating, both units kind of figuring out how to get around the way they defended a power play in the first game. And I don't think you can go about talking about this first game without talking about Jan Bednar. Unreal performance, as some of the guys said to him after the game. Average night in net. But at the same time, just an unreal performance from him. There was a lot of chaotic moments around the net. Three Rivers was really good at creating chaos around him. And you'd see him diving, but it was never swimming. He was diving intentionally towards a puck. He was following it extremely well in this game.
Yeah, it was probably his best game as a pro, one of them, outside of maybe the game where he shut out Florida. I think that was probably that game and game 1 of the final, probably 2 of his best games he's played as a pro. Like you said, I mean, there was loose pucks. He's getting to them. He just found the puck. He was tracking it well. Seemed like positionally he was sound. And really just, their first goal was a nice play. Good shot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it didn't rattle him. And I think the biggest thing is, continued growth, right? He's matured so much this year, and he's I mean, let's be real. He's probably the 1A, obviously playing, he's going to probably, if it goes 7, play 4 games to 3 for Carter. But that's what you wanted, right? Last year it was kind of like his development year and learn the league and get your feet wet. And then this year it's take that next step. And I think he has. The fans seem to really think so. I was just happy to see him go out there and play a really good game. And the average thing after was hilarious.
Oh, I was dying. Oh, it was great. Well, yeah, I mean, it is good to see him go out and play that game like that. And, we talked in the preview as well, like, would they keep the rotation or would they start it over with, them playing each odd and even games through the series? And then they started it over with Betsy starting game 1. And obviously it worked out well. You don't break it when it's not broken. So I was happy to see him have that performance. Just the overall performance from the team was good. It was good to start the series off 1-0. Like, that's all you could really ask for. Was it perfect? No. But for all things considered, I think pretty darn job well done.
Yeah, I mean, after that second goal by the second goal by Craggs, like, there was a point in time where I think there was like 6 shots on Betsy, like right in the crease, right at the goal mouth, and he just stood his ground, and I was just like, holy crap, like, he is on one tonight. Obviously, like, the third period with the extra skater, like, we weren't able to watch a whole lot because we were running down to post game. So it was hard to see at that point, like, how much pressure was on him. But I mean, to try to keep the lead and keep the win, like, I could only assume, like, there was a lot of shots going at him at the end.
Yeah, the pressure was definitely on at the end, so it was good to see him stand his ground there. And then Bantle obviously gets the empty net goal there, which it was nice to see him find the back of the net in this as well. And I thought his play off the puck, kind of like I mentioned in the preview as well, was really, really good in this game. I think he still has to work on not making that extra move sometimes. It seems like he always makes one too many moves and ends up either losing the puck or ends up in chaos, but his off the puck pressure that he can provide is unreal. And you could tell, like, there was a lot of guys on Three Rivers that when he was skating down the ice, they're looking over their shoulder, wondering, where is this dude? Because I'm either going to get hit or stripped of the puck at this point. He was a wrecking ball, as you expect him to be. So his performance was great, and I think the only other highlight that you got to bring up is, Trenton Bliss's stick going flying and Spezia catching it with one hand and somehow handing it back to him in one smooth motion was easily my favorite highlight of the night.
Yeah, that was so smooth, like, just almost poetry in motion, like how, like, just went flying and he just nonchalantly grabs it and hands it right back to him.
I saw one comment out there. Someone was like, isn't it illegal to have 2 sticks in your hand? And I'm like, what ref's going to call that after that just happened? Shut up. Enjoy the fun. Like, that was cool.
I heard they practiced this the day prior. Is that correct, Trav?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, we should have asked, Tyler Spezia. Anyways, any other final thoughts from game 1 before we move on to game 2?
I think the biggest thing is just, like, the Lions play a good structure. They play well within themselves. They know what they do well. They defend really well. I think that's probably the biggest thing that stood out to me is, yeah, they have a great goaltender, but they also defend really well. And I think that kind of helps the goaltender. I'd like to see, as we'll get into some thoughts in game 2 as to why or what they could do to maybe make his life a little more miserable. But overall, I mean, they're a good hockey team. Like, let's be real. Like, you get to the final 2 and, like, you're playing a good team, and they're good. They got a good program from what it sounds like and looks like. They play well within their structure, and I think they're a heavy team. They play heavy. They got some horses, that's for sure. They got some big boys, and they're not scared to throw their weight around. But credit is due to them. They're a good team, and they flexed their muscle in game 2.
Moving on. All right, let's talk about game 2. Obviously, we said the series is tied, so they lost this one. It's a 5-1 loss in game 2 on Monday night at the Huntington Center. Not what you want to see. You don't want to really let them come in and take one when the schedule is the way it is with 2 at home, 3 on the road, then 2 back at home. It forces you to have to go on the road and at least win 1 in the series to keep it going. But at the same time, what happened, Travis? Like, I know I watched your post-game interviews, and it seemed like there was a pretty clear, consistent message across the board on what caused this result.
They laid an egg. Like, no other way around it. They've done it once around, and this is the game that it happened in. Like, you think back to the Kansas City drubbing and the Fort Wayne drubbing. They both happened at home, and it's just one of them nights. It wasn't their night. They didn't sustain anything offensively at all. I felt like they were trying to stretch the ice way too much. It seemed like we'd get the puck at our own face-off dot or hash marks on our own end, and we're trying to hit guys at the other blue line. We're just flipping the puck out. Like Pat talks about like puck management a lot in postgame. If you watch just what he had to say to Jordan and to all the other people that were there, that was a big emphasis. I think he even said it to me. Biggest thing too is like penalties killed him, giveaways killed him. Like you heard Hawk say like in his postgame, like I can't take a penalty 200 feet from my own net. Like I had a bad turnover, ended up in our net. Like what went wrong? It just all went wrong. Like that's just basically what happened. And I think the biggest thing that kind of irritated me in this game is like all the flack on Carter, because like half of these goals, he's kind of either hung out to dry or you're facing shooters within 4 feet of like within the slot, like 8 feet of the crease. Like guys, shooters are good shooters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are we just throwing flack at the goaltender? I think you even said their first goal was like perfect execution, which it was. You look at their last goal, the guy got to walk down Broadway from the blue line and ripped it from the freaking hash marks. Like, what are we doing? But I mean, all in all, like, I think the biggest thing is it's just like they didn't play well. I don't want to say didn't show up, but it looks that way. They just played bad. Like, there's no way around it. I think everybody knows that. Like, the players knew it. They were all saying it in postgame.
Yeah, there's a couple of pieces of what you said I want to go back to. So obviously the flack on Carter. Like I said it, we saw it all over social media. Like people were blaming him, and I was consistently saying like this is not his fault. Like you look at some of these goals, and like I said, I think it was their first power play goal. The puck movement was like everything you'd want to draw up as a power play coach. Like it was perfection. And you look at every one of those goals too, he wasn't out of position. Like even their second power play goal, he's going post to post with a guy wide open to his left, and he still was in the position to make this diving glove save. It just ended up going over the glove. Like he read the play spot on. It's just a good shooter is going to shoot, and that's what they did. So
he got a piece of that one, just didn't get all of it. Like, and when you're sprawled and down and going side to side, like you're just hoping it hits you. Like there's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not a Carter Gylander problem. This was a team problem, and I think the thing for me too that sticks out is the team knows it. Like none of them were like, yeah, you know, there was good things to take away from it. I mean, you had Hawk call it piss poor. You had Tyler Spezia calling it not walleye hockey, and Bliss saying it was not our night. Like those, they all know. And I think the biggest thing for me is the reliance on the guy next to them as well, is what every one of those guys spoke to you on, was saying, you know, like you asked him, how do you bounce back from this? And it's, you know, you rely on that guy next to you to pick you up, and you go do the thing. And we've seen them lay eggs in the playoffs. It happens, but they've bounced back every single time very well. I do think it's going to be a challenge to bounce back. I think they gave Three Rivers some momentum in this game, letting them put up 5, but also Three Rivers might have screwed up running it up to 5. You might have motivated them a little more. So
typically in these series, I just want to touch on Gylander real quick. So the games that they have kind of like dropped at home, is it always been the second game?
Seemingly.
Is it always when Gylander gets the first start, like that start in the series?
It's becoming a trend.
Okay. I just want to confirm, because I'm like, there's been a lot of hockey, there's been a lot of series, like, so maybe on the fan side, maybe they're drawing from that is like, hey, like he's continually had this pattern throughout the series. Like his first start just seems to drop an egg for whatever reason. Now,
yeah, then in game 4 he comes back and
Carter
Gylander.
Yeah, he plays
look at the Fort Wayne series.
Yeah,
like they don't win that game without him.
Right. And so like, but the other thing too is like on the player side in the post game, one thing that I took away, and I think Pat and Hawk said this too, is like the mistakes just continually compounded. It was just like somebody messed up, and then another mess up, and then another mistake, and then it's in the back of the net. And that's just like, we just could not get a good shift. We could not get a good play. We could not get anything going our way. They're just kind of stuck in that spot. And so like, I'm not blaming Carter at all on this game at all. And so a lot of it was the play in front of him. And I don't know if that's just does that continually happen? Game 2 is like they just
some teams don't win game 2. It's like
it's just game 2. Like, and like me and Maria were watching it from afar. We're scorekeeping as well. It's just like she was freaking out. She goes, "Oh my god, they're losing that much!" And I'm like, "Well, like they're gonna lose. They're not gonna win every game. They're not going for. They're not gonna sweep. Like contrary to what Brandon said, they're not gonna sweep." And we're hoping that goes 6. So we're back in Toledo to watch it on home ice. So I mean, game 3 and 4 have to be big games.
I want to say something to that.
No.
And this isn't a complete dig at fans, and I feel like this Carter segment and this segment kind of goes at them, so I'm sorry. I'm tired of the bring it back and win it in 6 or 7. Just win it. Doesn't freaking matter when they win it. 6 or 7, win it.
I mean, if they win game 2 and game 3 and game 4, and you have a chance to win it in 5, like that's not even a thought in their head. Like to the players, that's not even a thought. Like you get a chance to win it, you win it. Like
exactly,
you're not going to go out there and lose to bring it home to potentially, drop a game at home, and then all of a sudden you got game 7. Like,
oh yeah, I don't think they're doing that at all. I'm selfish, and I want to be at the game that they win it at.
I think that's
so
what
are all the fans, but at the same time, just win the dang cup. Like that's all I care about. I don't care if it's in Quebec or in Toledo. Win it, because the party in Toledo either way is going to be ridiculous. And I will say, if there's a chance to win it on Saturday in Game 5, I will be in Toledo at the watch party for that to happen. And then if they don't win that, and I got to drive home and come back, and I will be in Toledo for basically the entire week of Game 6 and Game 7. Time off already approved, the day job. I will be there. So I wanted to make that point, though. Like everyone wants it at home on home ice, but if it's your first one, you just take it when you get it. Then you can beg for the home ice one in the second one. Like that's fine. That's how Grand Rapids did it. Won the first one in Syracuse, won the second one at home.
Isn't it sweeter to win it on the other ice, on away ice, for the players?
For any player on the team who's not 21, probably, yeah. Bar scene in Quebec can't be that bad.
Is there anybody younger than 21 on the team?
I don't know.
There might be a few. There's some college kids, some college guys. But I think the other thing, too, with Carter is, like, there was another podcast that said that he was probably going to be brought up to GR next year. He's going to backfill Coast. So maybe, like, people had higher expectations on Carter as well. Some guys that haven't watched the Walleye throughout season, and now they're tuning in for the finals, and they're like, hey, this is the guy that should be a GR next year. This is the guy that's on the Wings radar. And I'm like, we've been talking about Yachty all year of moving up. But another podcast kind of threw Carter out there, and I'm like, I don't know why you do. Okay.
We'll talk about it when the season's done and give our full opinions on it as the guys who watch 90% of the games that these guys have all played this season, and give you our full thoughts. But that's
bottom
not
line,
to discredit anybody. But anyways,
bottom line is goaltending solely was not the problem. That's the extent of it. Is goaltending was not why they lost game 2.
No, exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to hit an ad break. When we come back, we'll talk about what they need to do to not replicate what we just saw in Game 2. So quick ad. We'll preview the next few games on the road here, and that'll be it.
This NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on its edge. No one knows where it's going, but that just means there's time for your favorite team to figure things out. And games left for you to get in the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
And welcome back. All right. So obviously we've got 3 games on the road coming up in Quebec. You got Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What a tough freaking turnaround that is for both teams. That's just brutal. Don't understand why. When you look at Three Rivers' past playoff schedule, every like Saturday game has been like a random afternoon game. Don't understand why. Maybe one day we'll find out. But either way, we've got 3 road games coming up, and the Walleye have to win at least one. Travis, what do they need to do differently to not replicate a 5-1 loss? Because I have one thought, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are.
Better start. They have to start fast. Less penalties while maintaining steady power play. And probably the biggest thing is more traffic and shots to the net. Get the puck to the net and get there for the rebounds. I don't think you're going to score a lot of goals from distance on this guy. I think it's going to be, you're going to have to put the hard hat on and go to the dirty areas and pick up the change, pick up the garbage, whatever you want to, however you want to say it. I think that's the biggest thing. Look how they scored the first goal in game 1. And it's all workmen, blue collar, get to the net, rebounds there, tap it in. There have been rebounds both nights for plays. And I think another thing, too, is getting him to move side to side is another thing that we kind of seen last night with the backdoor play. He's not the tallest guy in the world. So if you can get
not
him.
Not small either, though.
Yeah, but like he's not huge.
Big.
Yeah, but he's not.
I don't want to say fat. He's got a big presence in net.
Well, what I'm saying, though, is like a guy like him might not stop a puck that like Bednar is because Bednar's 4 inches taller than him. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes just being a taller goaltender, you may not get across as quick, but you're taller and it hits you. So I think just more traffic to the net, rebounds, discipline is the biggest thing. And ultimately just like some willpower, like give a shit, right? Like I think that's the big, like they do. That's not like they don't give a shit, but like this is the most exciting time of the year. Just go out there and like, I'm just to say it, just go fucking play. Like it's really all you can do.
Play fucking hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me peel back some of the points here before I share my point, because you didn't say it, which I'm shocked you didn't say it. So Kavalin, yeah, he's a good goaltender, but he gives up massive rebounds off those pads.
Yep.
And he isn't the best in his side-to-side movement. So you hit the nail right on the head there. Those are going to be 2 things that they've got to really look at. Getting traffic out there, but at the same time, that traffic's got to be a battle every time, because Three Rivers is really good at defending that traffic. I mean, they've been really good at getting bodies and sticks in the way of opportunities. There's so many, it's a game of inches. There's so many close calls, even in last night's game, in game 2. There was so many close moments that went off a stick, went off a shin, went off a leg. I'm shocked there hasn't been a shot off someone's butt yet. Like, at this point, they're really, really good at defending that area around the net. But at the same time, you just got to get those rebounds. He gives up massive rebounds. I saw those and I was like, oh, Ville Husso has entered the game. Holy smokes. Because that's all I could think of is Ville Husso in Detroit, is these big rebounds. Didn't do it in the AHL. Did it a lot in the NHL, though. And that's all I could think of every time I saw a puck bounce off his pad, then go pretty much back to the face-off dot. So you're spot on there with what you need to do with Kavalin.
Yeah, my note literally says big ass rebounds from other goalie from game 1. Like they were shooting it, they were getting it on net, and there was just right back at us. And I'm like, we got to be there. We got to be able to put this in, because that's where it's going to be. And like you said, Travis, too, like the dirty areas, like Bliss's goal, he slid in and poked it with the stick from behind the goalie. Like that's a dirty goal. That's what you need in the playoffs. I love that as the first goal, to start the series. Well,
we didn't even talk about Bliss's sick assist on Spija's goal in that 5-1 loss. Sorry, Blisser, but that assist was unreal. Anyways, I had to give him some credit there in that one. The other thing is obviously discipline. We had someone comment on Twitter last night. They're like, it's shocked to see how they were like one of the least penalized teams in the league going into the playoffs, and playoffs has kind of been a whole different animal. And to my point I brought to them was playoffs bring a different emotion, right? Everyone's kind of learning, and this is a new experience for a lot of these guys going this deep in the playoffs. So at the same time, they're going to have to learn to keep those emotions in check, but I don't think it'll be a problem long term in this series. I don't think that's going to be the storyline of the series when this is all said and done, no matter which way it goes. I think they can get that in check, but at the same time, yeah, that got them in trouble in game 2. They cannot be like that in 3, 4, and 5.
I mean, you got to look to some of your, and like I'm saying with the big, like get to the net, like you got to get some of these bigger bodies to the net. Craggs, Moyle, Bannell, like, yeah, like the big guys, just get to the net. Like, be hard to move, just get there, make the goalie uncomfortable. Like, that's probably one of the biggest things is, like, just get there, cause as much chaos in front of the net as you can. And I'm not one to say shoot the puck more, but, like, I feel like sometimes it's too cute and they don't shoot the puck enough. Like, we got to shoot the puck. Like, and make the goaltender make plays. Like, I don't care if you shoot it on the ice and you score on a rebound. Like, if somebody, or hits somebody. Missing the net 4 feet high or wide does nothing for you. Like, make the goalie play his position.
Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest thing that I want to see improved in these next few games was passing. Their passing was not crisp. It was a lot of passes to the skates, a lot of passes behind guys. That's just something you got to clean up because that was just letting Three Rivers to pick the puck up and go the other way each time. At least the Walleye did a great job in game 1 of shutting down one of the patented Montreal Canadian moves that all 3 of their teams do, which is stand behind the net for too long and this crazy stretch pass up the ice to try to get a guy to break free. At least the Walleye were able to shut that down, but I didn't see much of that in game 2. I think they realized real quick, all right, that's not going to work here. And all 3 teams in their organization do it. Laval does it a ton. And Montreal obviously does it quite often too. But seeing that so much in game 1, then pretty much non-existent in game 2, okay, you removed a facet of their game that they try to use every single night, and you already had to make them go to the drawing board and try something different. Unfortunately, what they drew up worked pretty well. But at the same time, you can shut this team down, and it looks like it forces them to make corrections quickly. So you can make everyone on the ice uncomfortable and start shutting that stuff down too. That's going to help.
I think that goes along with what Pat said was puck management, with the passing. It's just keeping, making sure the passes are crisp, making sure they're going. The one thing that I noticed in the first game was like they used the boards a heck of a lot, which I love that aspect because I used to play indoor soccer. So we use the boards as just another person. And Toledo does it so well down there. It's not something that I see a whole lot up here in GR or even Detroit a whole lot, I would say. But Toledo is very good at being able to use the boards as an extra guy, bounce that pass off of it, get it to somebody, or get it into the zone. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch game 2, so I don't know if that was something that got shut down a lot in game 2 or not. If the Lions kind of changed their game plan as well to try to knock that down, stop that from happening, I don't know.
I wouldn't say they shut that down. I would say it was still existent, just not as crisp as it was probably in game 1. Another thing that throwing it up on the boards like that, I noticed with Three Rivers is their guys like to go for those hits to the guy you're trying to do a little bit of a stretch pass to. That puck misses your guy on those boards and you get hit. You're welcome for that interference penalty you just drew. Good job. So at the same time, man, use the boards and just get that passing back to being tape to tape. There's so many good passers on this team for them to be passing in skates and in behind their guys. That's definitely something I want to see improved in game 3. And it's such a short turnaround to try to improve anything. So a lot of video is going to be digested here. And I think they're going to learn a lot from that on this trip.
I think the biggest thing too, I don't think it's that surprising that they're so good on the road. Listen, playing at home, playing there, yeah, it's an extra person. The building's so electric, but there is such a pressure that with playing at home for them. Let's be real. You're playing in front of a packed house. It's great. It's all that. But at the same time, there's a ton of pressure with that. I mean, when you get on the road like this, you can just kind of just settle down, relax. You don't have to be, I feel like they try to be too perfect at home at times. And they can just go relax and flow and play. And I think that's going to help them as they go up to Canada for the next 3. Just to settle down and go play.
Especially with Pat commenting, too, that they were traveling right away. They were getting there as soon as possible, getting settled in, should be able to get a day of practice in. That's really, really good in this situation with such a tight turnaround. Especially when you look at, the AHL schedule and you go, man, our guys had like a week to get to Texas. Like these guys are going boom Wednesday, boom Friday, boom Saturday, like then right back to T-Town. So it's kind of crazy.
Probably all drove there in their own individual cars to Texas, but
Gotta walk there at that rate. Good Lord.
Jeez. That might explain why. Never mind. One thing I do want to mention though too is we talked a lot about depth and how this Toledo team has more depth than the Lions, just with being able to get the lines going. And like that game one, you see Trent Bliss, you get a goal from the big guy, right? Hawkins assist, Jalen assist. Your second goal, Sam Craggs, you get Brandon Cruz, Colin Sawyer. So you get another line further down the depth. Then you get Carson Bantle, Lewandowski, Colin again. Like you're getting contribution from different guys throughout. And I think that's going to be huge in this being in Canada for these 3 games is if you can keep these guys going, you get the depth, you get contribution from each individual line. And it doesn't have to be all Hawk, or it doesn't always have to be Spezia or all, Jalen or Trent Bliss. Like you get other guys stepping up. That's what's going to be the key in these 3 games. I think that's going to be to get them through. Like you got to win at least 2 out of 3 out of this series.
You gotta win 1. But yeah, 2 would be nice. 3 would be even better. Just wrap it up.
I expected to win 1 at least.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, they win all 3. Medium success is you win 2. And an absolute must is you win 1. Anything to just get it back here. Because I think if they get it back here, it'll go 7. Like, if they only win 1 up there, it'll go 7. I got no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. There was one person you mentioned there, Nick, and I've got to say it. Like, I love Cruz. I love his passing. His passing is so crisp. There's a reason he plays that bumper spot in the power play unit, too. Like, his passing is so good.
He plays half wall. He's on the umbrella.
I thought he was on the bumper.
No, Craggs is on the bumper.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Flip-flop that. Anyways, his passing's so good. There's just sometimes when he gets the puck in his stick, I'm like, man, just rip it. Please. Like, I know you got a shot. I know you do. Just rip it once and see what happens. Because I can remember that goal earlier in the season where he just threw it towards the net and it shocked everyone and it went in. Like, I wish he would shoot it more because I know he's got that shot. And this isn't a dig at him again because his passing is unreal. Like, he's such a good passer. He can find a guy pretty much in any situation. But I know he's got a sneaky shot in there too. I want to see him use it more.
I think it's
he
could
be an unsung hero in this round if he starts shooting that puck a little bit more.
Well, I think the biggest one with him, like, is the play. I think it was the Rock the Rink night when he danced around them guys and then ripped it past the goalie from the top of the circle. And it's like, yes, shoot the puck.
Yeah, you can do it. Like,
you can do it. Like, but no, again, like, he's your playmaker guy. I think we need him, like, even if he doesn't score, but has, a few assists to Ambrosio, like, got to maybe get him going somehow, or just, I think the 4th line's going to need to score a big goal at some point in this series. I think I said that in the preview. I think they have to find a goal somewhere, sometime, and then, like, you just got to sprinkle in goals here and there. They got to find some goals at 5-on-5. Like, we've scored 3 goals so far in the series. Like, that's a kind of a cause for concern. But again, or 4, I'm sorry. Yeah, 4. I forgot they scored the empty net goal. I don't count the empty net goal because, like,
goal's a goal.
I get it, but, like, the goalie wasn't in the net. Like,
not our fault.
I know.
But you're right, though. Like, 5-on-5 was, like, the play that you talk all through the playoffs so far. It was like, we're so good at 5-on-5, and we haven't really found many goals that way in this final yet. So, sure, you might be a cause for concern, but now as soon as we say that, watch what happens Wednesday. Like,
no reason to hit the panic button. If they lose game 3, still no reason to hit the panic button. Like, until their season's done, I'm not going to worry. Like, there's enough guys in that room that know what to do and need to do. So,
is this like day after, Trav? Because last night it didn't feel like that.
Why?
It felt like you were panicking a little bit.
No. I don't think so.
You were a little mad. You were a little angry.
That was me in the group chat, not Travis. I was just frustrated because I want to see the boys win. Like,
it's
I wasn't mad. I just want to see them win.
I was waiting for I was waiting for Hawkins in post game, and Louis walked by, and I was chatting with him, and I'm like, "You guys are fine." Like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just one game." And I'm like, "Yep." And it's like, I even said to him, I'm like, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face. Like, they got punched in the face, so I'm excited to see what tomorrow night brings.
Yeah, I think what the fans have to understand is there's literally no cause for concern. These guys know. They know what they did. They know they weren't happy about it, but they're all the right guys in that room to go out there and bounce back from it. And I have the utmost faith that they're going to be able to go pull this off. Like, again, I'd rather see him win all 3 of these games and come back to America with a frickin' cup, man. You imagine those USA chants, how much louder they're going to get?
Oh, God, yeah.
Those were... I was not expecting that in that game. I'm sorry. I was not expecting that. Oh,
It's probably the loudest chant of the night, I feel.
it was close. I don't know. The goalie, "you suck," and then the words they use down in Toledo that follow the "you suck." It was sick. I heard that clear as day on the TV last night. I was like, oh. That was loud. No, man, it's gonna be fun. Like we said, game 3 is Wednesday, game 4 is Friday. Those are both around 7:00 or shortly after there. They said the puck drops usually a few minutes after that start time on the schedule. And then Saturday is a 3:00 start time there. And like I said, if there's a chance to win the cup on Saturday, I'll be down in T-Town again, because I will be in the city when there is a chance to win this cup. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I will be there because, again, I'm ready to chug some beers with the fans and celebrate a championship here.
I think I'm going to be bringing my own beers down.
Yeah, you probably should, since you don't drink alcohol. So we'll let you bring your own down. But anyways, I'm excited. Yeah, it's okay. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Again, as always, follow along in the social pages. We'll have highlights and updates of all the road games. Even if we're at the watch parties, we'll still have those posted for you guys. And of course, if it comes back to Toledo and we've got to win 6 or 7, we'll be down there as well and enjoying it all with you guys. It's just a fun ride. No matter how this turns out, it's a fun ride. You are one of the last 2 teams in the ECHL still playing hockey right now.
In June.
It's in June. It's a beautiful thing. Enjoy it. It's so much fun, man. Playoff hockey's the best. It is the best.
Not used to covering hockey this late,
No, I'm not used to doing like an open in the show talking about golf and a game that was just played this week. It doesn't mesh, but
there's one more thing we gotta talk about real quick.
Oh boy,
that just came to mind. I want to say thank you to Tyler. Wrote an incredible article about the city of Toledo. Tyler Kuehl for Daily Faceoff wrote an incredible article about the city of Toledo, how passionate they are to the fan base, and if you haven't looked it up, Brandon, maybe you can link it in the
description of the episode.
Yeah, go check it out. It was an incredible article. He did a great job. It was kind of fun getting him in contact with Dunk and helping him out. So I just wanted to say thank you to him.
That right there should just tell you, Toledo fans, how incredible you are. I brought this man down to one playoff game, and he left it going, I need to write about this. Like, that's how incredible you fans are. Like, you set an impression of a guy who's covered NHL, PWHL, AHL. He's covered everything in hockey. And he went to one stinking playoff game and was like, this is unreal. Like, I have never seen that man jump in with the chirps as much as he did during that game as well while we were watching. It was a good old time with Tyler. So, as you all know, friend of the show, guest on the show multiple times, good buddy of mine for a long time. And that article, yeah, it pretty much encapsulated why Toledo is such a special place and why they're on an 80 sellout streak right now.
And he'll be back for Game 7 if it makes it that far.
If it's Game 7, he will be there. I have his ticket already. We're good to go.
Man, how poetic would it be if it went 7 and he's there when they win the cup? He'd have to write another article, you feel like.
I would require him to. I think either way, I think he's going to again, like Toledo, Tyler is a known Ohio hater because he's a big Michigan fan. He's a known Ohio hater, and y'all had him writing articles about Toledo, Ohio. So, claps to you guys. That's the fans. The fans did that. It wasn't the game. It was the fans.
the fans are incredible though. Like just like the drive back for us is such a pain. It's 3 hours. We get back at 4:00 in the morning, but it's always so worth it. Like going down there, spending time with the fans, like going through the store, just people coming up to us, thanking us, like that. Just it goes so far with us. Like it's just so amazing. So like we dread the there and back. We're not doing that again. We're staying with Travis next time. But it's just like you come back and you're like, I literally slept all day Sunday, but I just was like, that was so fun. It was so worth it. And we continue to do it. We've done it Brandon, you've done it a few more times than I have, but we do it at least 2 or 3 times a season. And it's a big thank you to you guys. Like the fans keep us coming back. The fans keep us talking about the team and talking about the city. And like, it's just, like you can't, like I'm from Flint, and like even the Flint team like doesn't get me that excited to talk about, like it's such a good thing with Toledo. So we appreciate you guys so much, because like we kind of came in here of like Griffins, and then we saw Cosa, and like we just continue with the success with Toledo, and we just love it down there. So thank you again.
My only recommendation at this point, can we change free chili to free gas or oil changes? That'd be great. Be really helpful. On that note, I think it's a perfect spot to wrap up this episode. Thank you all for tuning in to our Kelly Cup Finals update here. Stay tuned as more episodes will come out in the future. Maybe it'll be another update. Maybe it'll be a recap of the whole series. Who knows? We'll figure it out as things go on here with our schedules. And again, as always, if you see us down in Toledo, especially, Nick or myself, or anytime you see Travis around the rink, he's at every freaking game. But when we're down there, please say hi. Stop us. We love talking hockey with you guys. We want to talk with you guys more, because every time I talk to somebody in Toledo, I learn more about the team itself. Like that's just the way it goes. So we're always excited. It's never a bother for us to be able to stop. I don't care if the game's even going on. You want to talk to us, like talk to us, please. It's such a fun, cool thing for us, and we love you guys down there. So thank you all, and thank you all again for tuning in. As always, before we end the episode, we got to thank our sponsors of the show, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN, and when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST. Saves a few bucks off your order, and of course, supports the show as well. And of course, without our Patreon subscribers, the show would not be possible, and those currently are...
We've got Randy, Ale, and Derek, Elaine, Griffin, John, Lori, Michael, Tyler, and Claire.
Thank you all for the love and support. And if you want to join those folks, head over to patreon.com/Hockeytown West Podcast. Check out the tiers we offer over there. We do bonus episodes, unedited episodes, and any extra content. And I'm sure if there's a week of Nick and I in Toledo, there will be plenty of extra content that ends up on Patreon. I can already see what's going to happen there, because I think there's a plan for a trip to Cedar Point between 6 and 7 if it goes 7. So, yeah, there will be content from that. 100% for sure.
Does that mean I have to behave?
You have to behave? Yeah, you do. Now it's Patreon content. That's where the fun happens. Come on. Anyways, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. As always, go Griffins and go Walleye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod, and your host, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, and Brandon at BrandonGR Hockey.